Christine Lennips is a well-being expert, herbologist, and iridologist who has been practicing for over 35 years. She began her journey as a practitioner after experiencing incredible results with her own health by getting at the root cause of her health problems, her health symptoms. She's dedicated to helping others achieve optimal health and wellness in their lives too. Today, she's sharing, your body's talking to you, but are you listening? And do you understand? Christine, welcome to the BRI Talks stage.
Thank you so much, Tara Lee. And as I've been listening to everyone else, I'm realizing why I'm not using my slides today. I found them, but God does work in mysterious ways. And as I'm listening to the heartfelt stories, I'm realizing that far too often I'm very business oriented, and a little too often I am trying to do my own thing, and he needs to bring me back into, now you gotta do it differently, not the way you're thinking. So this is going to be a talk that I've never given before, because it's going to be interweaved with more personal story together with everything that I do. It started before I was born. Mom was not feeling good. She could not keep food down. There was stuff going on with her. And at that time, they didn't know you don't go mixing medications. So they gave her something and that didn't work. They gave her something else that didn't work. So we're talking about the possibility of medical interactions of drugs, to be able to, this wasn't just morning sickness. This was way beyond that. So when I was born, I basically, if you want to say something, I was born toxic. There was this combination of things. There was 5 different medications till she could finally keep things down. And she did need those same ones for my 2 brothers as well. So it was just that at least they didn't have to do that searching to try to figure out which one worked for her. So the first 16 years of my life, I was a country girl. I worked. I did actually. I lived on a farm, but I worked in my, with my parents, and did a variety of different things while I was going to school. I did have a bale fall on top of my head when I was in the Mao, when I was 12 years old. But when I was 16, I got into these headaches, and went to the family doctor, see what they could figure out. And they recommended an over-the-counter medication, probably Tylenol. And that didn't work for me. But my chiropractor had said, well, why don't you go to the person that your parents are going to and see if they can figure out something for you? Because even chiropractic wise, your treatments are not working the way they should be, for somebody your age. So this is what began my business story. My faith story started earlier because, of course, I'd been going to church my entire life. And I was just baptized the year before. And so the faith was strong, but I had doubt. And at 16, I wasn't the type of person that really was strong to verbalize my faith to others, that, people I was just meeting. I was just being strong in myself. But with these health issues and a headache, yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, but it was a low-grade headache that would come and go about 5 times a day. And that was really hard. I lost one of my classes because when we had an exam, I was in the health room laying down in the dark trying to get this headache to go away. By the time I was done grade 10, I will admit, still I'm not clear. I only had 5 courses left, and I either failed 3 or I failed 2. But the idea being I didn't do very well at that stage. So I continued on. Actually, sorry, that was grade 12. My apologies. I took 2 years of grade 12 because I had so much more improvement that I needed to do, and I wanted to learn more as things improved. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I had those headaches, and I did go to that person. They were a herbalist and an iridologist, and they were able to help me to understand what was at the root cause of this. Well, what can happen with headaches? Well, that's the nervous system, but it could be toxins causing the headaches. So then that's your digestive system, the intestinal system for not eliminating them properly. It could be hepatic. That's your liver, gallbladder, blood. Detoxification, people do those programs, especially spring and fall is a great time for the body to detox. Well, there was more than one thing going on in my body. I actually, and we're not supposed to diagnose as an iridologist, but this person was a little more direct to me and basically said, just imagine you're 16 years old and you're just being told, and at any age, imagine just being told, parasites have gotten to your brain and they're killing off brain cells. What am I supposed to do about that? It sounds very death sentence like. And that's where the faith comes in again. Okay, there are things that we can do. We can get on top of this. We can make a difference. And so while I'm all caught up in the personal stuff of, okay, I've got no energy, I can hardly do stuff, sure, I'm the girl and I'm trying to do jobs on the farm, but, I just can't do some of these things. Well, you can't keep something like this secret because people notice. They saw that I wasn't having the energy in school. I can't even imagine what the teachers were talking about. Um, some will have said, oh, no, that can't be Christine. And others would have been bringing in, well, is there drugs? Is there family problems? Why is she doing so much poorly? This is so untypical of her, what she's been like. Something is going on. We never had the conversation directly. So it's just, me thinking about what could have been going on. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the past to really hear things. And I started taking some herbal supplements, things that were targeting being able to kill those parasites off, eliminate them effectively. There was some brain work that needed to be done. And I worked with a program that was adjusted as my body improved. And that's the key thing. I don't just work with what the label says, because as my body improved, I didn't need as much. It was now ready for the next step. And that type of program worked so well for me and is usually missing for a lot of people. So what I did was I had to field some questions about like, well, you're so much better. Like you've got so much energy. What are you doing? And it's like, well, okay, I'm working on some things for me. I know that not the same thing works for everybody. So they were saying, well, what would you do for me? Like with these symptoms, what would you do? Well, as I was going along and having more and more of these questions, I was learning. And I was discovering that this is a really interesting field, not just for me and what I was developing myself, because quite honestly, now I'm not sure I'd be alive. I'd probably be a medical experiment of some kind, because with the problems I had then, without holistic intervention, I don't know where I would be at today. And that's God's hand in there. People being able to share who's been helping them and what has been able to be done for them. And I've often told people, God made sure that I went on this path for my career by giving me the health that I had. and making it that I had to learn these things personally so that I could help others. He wove a silver thread through my DNA to make sure that I did not deviate from this path. And I sidetrack myself once in a while, but he pulls me back because this is so important. My ability to be able to help people get at this root cause of why they have their health symptoms. Because we're not just covering the surface. Lack of energy? Who's thinking parasites? Like, really? We're looking at, well, and some people are having coffee, to give themselves the energy. But it's digestion, it's the elimination, it's the liver, the gallbladder, the blood, it's the immune system. Those are the things that normally are impacting somebody with their lack of energy. Well, leave it to me to be even more different than that. And that journey of my own health led to the path of my career. Because at 16, I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. Kind of wanted to be a teacher. And I've been doing this for 36 years. It's almost 37 years now. And only a few years ago did I realize I am a teacher, but I do a lot of it one-on-one. And so this year, I will be working with group coaching. So I get to do the one-to-many where we don't just work with one-on-one. I've learned so many things today with other people's journeys. And it's reminding me also where the group coaching comes into play so well, because we are together learning, together supporting each other, together sharing, and being able to do more for ourselves with the support of others. Because even as a coach, I'm one person helping you. But when we're all working together with our own things, we are indirectly and directly helping others. And so that's why I chose to take a different path today with my talk, because often, yeah, I'll admit it, often I think it's procrastination, and God's just saying, slow down. You're not going in the right direction right now. You need to do something else, and you need to pause, and you need to think about what this is that you're wanting to share. So as much as this was going to be a really businessy talk about getting at the root cause of why you have your health symptoms, your body talking to you, God talks through our bodies. God gives us different indicators for why we should be listening. And for some people with a health issue, you're smacked upside the head because we didn't take the time to pause and listen to our body and learn. And you're in a hospital bed, or you're sick in bed with a cold, but you had other, well, cold quotes, it was really something else. You weren't listening to your body. You weren't paying attention to the messages that were being sent. You've been pushing yourself too hard, or going in the wrong direction, or not the right direction. And now you will be pausing, forced pause. So when I do some teaching, I talk about breathing techniques, stopping, pausing, prayer, all of these type of things. And I meet people where they're at. I definitely have people that clients that I work with that aren't religious, Christian, spiritual. And so I still work with them in a way that they're comfortable to understand that they need to pause and get that support in whatever way is suitable to them. And then when they're ready, I have that ability to talk more with them and sprinkle those little things in. So we want to be sure that we're listening. I have something as a freebie today that is not religious. It is more about the body systems. There's 10 of them that our body has. They are completely intermingled. And when one is not working as well, the others need to pick up the slack. But if you think of an assembly line and people are doing certain jobs and you're given that job now, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm used to this. I don't know how to do this. That's what your body does. It doesn't know how to go and do those things that the liver did. The liver does more than 500 different things that we know about so far. So we need to be able to support our body so that it can do all these important things. What I have is a healthy habits checklist, and you can find it at christinelennips.com. In case you're not able to see it on the screen, that is spelled CHRISTINELNNIPS.com. Inside this freebie, you're going to find, we're going to talk about some health tips and also different things about each of those 10 body systems. And there's also the opportunity to book a free 20-minute session where we can chat some more about your health concerns and what may be the root causes of your symptoms. So let's find out if I can be of help to you. And that free session is hiding inside. It's not hiding. It's at the bottom of the page, at the back page. It is inside the Healthy Habits Checklist. So feel free to grab that. I think you'll find there's a lot of information in there for you. Some of it will be directly related to you, and some of it might be for somebody that you know. And I want to share lastly, just pause. Take that time to listen. It could be in prayer that we get our answers, but sometimes it's in that quietness. And sometimes it is that person that just whispers that something to us because he speaks to us through other people and through actions. And we need to be prepared to listen to our bodies and our surroundings. Thank you so much.